If you have a mouse problem in your house, I just want to quickly show you the mouse traps I've been using. This one is by Woodstream, and the lid of it slides off, and they go in here, right there, and they go down, this ramp tilts down, and they go down the ramp over here to the food, but then the ramp pops back up again, and they can't get back out. And that's by Woodstream. And this, it works very well, except sometimes when you go to release them, it's difficult to get the lid to slide to get them to jump out that way. Now these are small single mouse traps. This could probably hold like 3 or 4 of them in there, maybe even 5. This is a single mouse trap. It's by Victor. It's not marked other than Victor. And what you do is you set it, the bottom is not completely flat. And when you set it, you have to make sure that you have food as a weight toward the back. And what happens is when it is weighted, it sits like that, and then as soon as they walk on this end to go in there, this flips down. Now this is the trap that some of them figured out. I think they run by and hit it to close it and then look for food. I don't know. I've found these closed and empty. I think they run by them. They may even, the little ones, may be even able to run in, grab a piece of food, and run out again. I don't know. But overall, these both work well. These are much easier because if you're doing what I do, I have then a small animal carrier that is more like a little aquarium for a goldfish or something than a small hamster cage or something like that. Mice can get through, the CDC said anything smaller than a quarter, they can get through a hole the space of a quarter. And most wire on cages is too open and they can get right out of it. So that little blue container I've had in the videos is plastic with a plastic lid, but they're starting to chew the plastic on the lid. And it depends on how long this goes on for me, but I do have a 10-gallon aquarium with, I have either a Habitrail lid or I have a wire lid. So if it comes to it and they break the small one, I can use the 10-gallon tank. And what I'm doing is I put them all in there, and the 10-gallon tank is more inconvenient, but I can carry the smaller container that's more like a goldfish container, either carry it or take it on a bike or in a car and go a mile away and release them all at once by taking the lid off, and there they go. I've also walked down the street with one of these in my hand and opened the door and let them go. I've done that with this. I've put several of these in a bag and walked a mile away and let them go. These are all Havahart traps. They're, and that's a generic term in this case. They're not going to kill the mice. And you should really do your research. Use bleach, mask, disinfectant. Watch the first video I posted has most of the warnings on it. Now here's another thing I've been trying recently. I started with a peanut butter jar, but I take a jar. This one has holes in the lid, which jelly jars have metal lids, so I was able to put a hole in the lid. But I put this in, it would work in either the goldfish tank or the 10-gallon tank. And this one has writing on it, but I take the lid off. I put this in the tank they're in. I put a little cracker with peanut butter in there, and they all run in there. They love the roundness of it. It's like a nest or a tube for them. And then wearing my gloves from above, I just bring the top down and hold it over there until I get them out of there and I screw the top on. Now, because this one has holes in the top, I can probably get 5 mice in here and then walk a mile away and let them go. So that's an easy way to get them out of the tank, is by letting them pretend this is a nest. You could put some shavings in there, and then all you do is, like I said, come from above and slit the lid over the opening, and then pull the whole thing out of the tank and put the lid on correctly. And because there are air holes in a metal lid, in the peanut butter jar, I poke the holes in the side. But then that leaves a little tiny bit of plastic on the inside that eventually they're going to chew. So this is really the better idea, is to use a jelly jar or a jam jar and poke holes in the lid and use it as a way to transport them if you're going to let them go about a mile away. So this has been working. It's not any fun, and if you don't like mice, it's going to be even less fun. I've had 18 mice so far, out of what I think is one nest. So, I mean, the alternative for me, I looked at snap traps yesterday, and basically I have like 5 of these in the living room. They keep trying to go through behind the tool chest and out the front door somehow, and that's where I'm most often catching them. I would have dead mice all over the house. Not all over the house. They've been in the living room and in the kitchen floor area and under the oven. But I'd have dead mice, and I prefer not to do that. So if you feel the same way, these are traps that work.